Hello and welcome to the huge-ass broadcasting presentation of the Reddit iRacing League Season 20 Round 9, the IndyCar DW12 at Bathurst. My name is Michael Derby. With me tonight is Alex Albert. We're going to bring you tonight the season finale of the Reddit iRacing League Season number 20. How are we doing tonight, Alex?
Doing very well.
Good
Glad
to,
to be
good to hear, good to hear. All right, let's go ahead and while we're getting ready, the drivers are qualifying. Let's go ahead and bring you right now the top drivers, the top five we've got right now for the season. Number one, Sven Demmel. He's got 217 points. He's pretty much got this locked up unless he has a very bad night, but I don't see that happening. But the race is much tighter down in the second and third positions. Thomas Ellison with 182 points is trailed very closely by Jeff Tyler with 180. And back in fourth, fifth, and sixth, we've got a real tight race. Antonio Alvarez and Nate Franklin both have 144 points. But right behind them is David Haynes with 141. I don't think David is going to be racing tonight. Is that correct?
Yes, that's Hungry Bear is at the RiL GP. He's
didn't make it
over
back
in
in time.
Melbourne. He couldn't make it over here to Bathurst.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him, but we'll see how he does with drop weeks. Meanwhile, we'll give you the top teams right now. Jeff and Kyle with 238 points. They're really pushing hard to win this one, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I talked to them earlier in the paddock, and they told me how important it is that they seal the deal this week.
Right behind them with 205 points, we've got Thomas and Justin. Right behind them with 193 points is Devin and Alexander. Knight and Jack have 163 points. And we're getting really close to starting the race here, aren't we, Alex?
Yeah, Devin and Alexander, they're actually the Maple Cough Syrup team. They loaned me one of their cars to do some laps during practice, and it was quite the experience. Really want to thank that team for offering that to me.
All right, well, let's go ahead and we'll jump in with one of the drivers right now as they're qualifying. We're going to look at... Oh, there we go. Look at Daniel Bartz here, the number 28 car. They've only got about 2 minutes left in quali here, so keep an eye on that.
Expect the really fast qualifiers to be probably low 143s, maybe even in the 142s.
If they are able to complete a clean lap, that is.
Good point.
But this, they've only got one. They've got an out lap and then one hot lap to get a time in. We'll just flip through the field here, check out some of the drivers. Andrew Fawcett in the 94. As he comes down Conrad.
We get some people crossing the line. So far, Nate Franklin on top of the sheet with a 43.8. Then Peter second, 44.0. Oh, and fastest spin demo, 42.820. Jeff Tyler slots into fourth. John Patrick. Dylan Blanton moving up to the fourth spot. How about Dylan? Alright, 40 seconds left. Anyone else get a lap in here?
We're on board with the number 816 of Aaron Thacker right now as he looks like he's finishing up his lap coming through the last few turns. Okay, and it looks like we're all finished with qualifying. You want to go ahead and give us the grid here?
Sure. On pole, Spin Dimmel. Starting next to him will be Nate Franklin in the second row. Devin Peters and Dylan Blanton. Third row will be Jeff Tyler and Thomas Ellison. Our fourth row will be John Patrick, Daniel Bartz. Our fifth row will be Evan Merrill and Christopher Flamian. And our sixth row will be Jack Moffitt and Ryan Verhulst. Oh. And then we're going to have Aaron Thacker, Alexander Cofford, Andrew Fawcett, Kyle Smith, Chad Clark, Paul Parashak, and Justin Lamons. All right, so the cars are lined up here on the Conrad Straight. And I did speak to Devin Peters' team before the race to clarify if his number should be spoken as 911, like a Porsche, or 911, like an emergency. And they clarified that it's definitely 911, like an emergency.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, we had a few drivers that weren't able to make it onto the race. They had mechanical issues during practice. So the grid going to wait for the full countdown. We got about 30 seconds left before the pace car is going to release the field. Looking at timing and scoring, estimated 24 laps. We'll see if that adjusts as the race goes on. Some of the teams I spoke to expected this would be 2 full tanks plus a lap. So we should see 2 stops, a wide variety of strategy, since they're starting with the full tank here. And while it's not a full tank as much as the DW12 would hold, it is limited for this competition to 14.5 gallons.
So just 4 gallons short of normal.
Right. So when you hear us talk about a full tank, we mean a full 14.5 gallons.
And do you think anybody can save enough to get that whole extra lap and do it on 2?
Well, if David Haynes was here, I would have put $1 on him, but I'm just not sure. Maybe Sven can, but will he need to? All right, so it's going to be interesting here. Nate Franklin with the Jordan Vincent Hedges livery. Will he be able to keep up with Sven's pace early on? All the drivers should be scared on this first lap with cold tires.
That's right, and pace car is coming into pit road right now. We should get the green flag as they come out of this final turn onto the pit lane straight. And here we go, we've got the green flag and they're away. It looks like Sven has taken a good start here as he comes into Hellcorner corner.
Jeff Tyler thought better of that.
Was that Kyle Smith getting caught out? No, it wasn't. It was Andrew Fawcett getting caught out all the way at the back there. Maybe we can take a quick look and see what happened to him. He was kind of mid-pack in the field to start there. Did he get bumped or just missed it? He just missed the turn completely. Unfortunate.
It's early days here in this race. Oh, big crash. There is a big crash. Can we go back and look at the 37 a few seconds back?
Yes, we can. Let's go about 20 seconds back. See if we can find out what happened there. We'll get into chase mode. Oh, looks like the number 20 got into the wall and he spun. Oh, it was just a cascade effect there.
Oh, and then the 37 got on the throttle too hard.
Yep,
yeah.
Many drivers seem to have gotten on the throttle too hard there. That's unfortunate. So right now we've got John Patrick, Christopher Flamian, and Kyle Smith in the pits. Looks like they're taking some repairs. And we'll go ahead and concentrate on our second place, number 24, Nate Franklin right now. He seems to be, he's pretty closely followed by Dylan Blanton and Devin Peters there. Thomas Ellison trailing them at the end there. You can see those cars coming through view right now. And Sven has already pulled out a 2-second lead as he comes across the start-finish line to finish the first lap of the race.
Yeah, it looks like Sven might be running more downforce. His top speed numbers were much lower than the cars chasing behind. So I think his mechanics know something the other guys don't. Oh, we got a spin. We got 2 spins coming out of the last corner here. The 20 car and the Aaron Thacker and Jack Moffitt both spun around. Looks like they're both going to be able to get away.
So Jack Moffitt flips it back around to get back onto the mountain straight there. Let's follow along with Thomas Ellison right now as he's trailing this lead group. He seems to be right at the back of them.
looks like the 911 locked up the tires there a little bit.
It's easy to do through there. A lot of these turns are off camber and make things very difficult for you, don't they?
Oh yes, I spoke with those a few laps that the Maple Golf Syrup team allowed me to go out and do during practice, and I carried the left front all the way through Forest Elbow, and it was pretty cool to see it just sitting there stationary. But you know, I like all 4 tires on the ground as much as I can get it.
Right. I mean, unless we're driving trophy trucks.
Oh wow, looks like Tom's taking a look here. Tom is trying to make a move, I think. Devin made a few mistakes there on the top of the mountain. They're starting to lose contact with the group ahead.
As he has fallen, Devin has fallen to almost a second and a half, but more than a second and a half back behind Dylan in third there.
Dylan, a new name in the league, but this is another strong showing from him. Nice Sven Dimmel, still the quickest car on the track by about a second.
Consistently faster most of the season. Not most, all of the season, let's be honest.
So I have to believe he's running more downforce. He's 10 mile an hour slower at the end of the long straights.
But he must be making up all of that time in the top of the mountain, because
His
he's
apex speeds are 6 mile an hour faster. So while he's 10 mile an hour slower in the straight line, he's 6 mile an hour faster around the corners.
right now his best lap is more than a second, 1.2 seconds faster than the closest challenger.
Well, even though the straights are long here, there's much more twisty track than there is straight.
Yeah, you can lose a lot more time on the top than you can going down the hill.
All right, so it looks like Tom's giving Devin a little bit of room. Maybe seen something he feels like he needs to back off and give just a little bit of space here.
Maybe he's having a little trouble following him with the aero wash.
That's a good point. I noticed they were running together some in practice, and Tom took a trip over the curbs once when he got a little too close. Will he use the button here with the push to pass? He's tucked up right behind him.
I don't think he's going to want to use them this early. They're limited to 10, so you don't want to use them all that quick. We're only a couple of laps into the race. Still 34 minutes to go.
I think Devin is running less downforce than Tom. Devin is 190.9 at the end of the straight. Tom's only 184.4. So while Tom's quicker through some of these turns, oh, and Tom takes a slow spin all by himself. He holds the brake here. Oh, Jeff's in the barrier. Is he caught out by Tom? And then Chris spins. This is the Keystone Cops right here.
Wow. And the other challengers trickle on by there. It looks like Jeff Tyler made up a position and Ryan Verhulst made up a position.
I have to believe Jeff's going to pit this time. It looked like he took some damage there when he popped into the barrier.
Mr. Tyler?
Yes.
His wing is a little deformed. We'll see what happens as he goes through this lap. It's not terribly damaged, but it is a little wrinkled.
Well, I'm sure if he's having too much trouble, he'll go ahead and pit and get a new one put on. As we know, we expect 2 stops, and the strategy should allow for you to stop at any point to do those 2 stops.
Did you say it was 2 full tanks and then an extra lap, correct?
Right.
Okay.
So you started with 1, and then as long as you do your 1 lap, then you should just need 1 more tank. So yeah, the telemetry is showing 19 laps to go when Spin gets the line this time. We're right about 33 minutes left of a 40-minute race.
And that lead pack is still pretty tight. Nate has made up a little bit of time. He's only 1.0 seconds now. 1.083, sorry. Seconds behind Sven. But Sven, definitely losing time during the straights, but he seems to more than make up for it on at the top of the mountain.
What?
But let's see what happens here. Nate is within a second, so he's going to get a little bit of aero draft off of on the straight here. And it looks like Verhulst is coming down pit lane. Not sure what happened there. His wing is looking a little bent.
Oh, so Jeff got around Devin, and I was wondering how he did it. Devin spun in turn 2 on lap 4. Doesn't look like he hit anything, and he was able to get going again, but it neutralized the advantage he got from Tom's spin.
Oh, and Jeff is hard into the wall there. Looks like he's going to have to get a tow back to the pit.
Oh, and he does.
Sven a little deep going into Forest Elbow as they head back onto the Conrad. Nate is still within a second of him and pulling pretty hard here. Dylan Blanton right behind them. He's only 2 seconds adrift from Sven, so he's making up a good bit of time here.
Yeah, I went back and took a look at the Jeff incident. He just touched the curb, and there's just no room for error here at this track.
You hit those curbs, it'll send the car the other direction, straight into the wall.
Hi, Jeff. You said that if you had to get a ride back on the motorbike, you would talk to us. So what happened?
Well, Alex, I was getting along pretty well there, and the tires were getting a little greasy, the car's starting to get a little loose, and I got a little sideways coming up the hill there, as you saw, and I called upon my years of experience and, noteworthy talent, and they completely failed me, and I put it in. So.
Well, hopefully the mechanics can use one of their magical fast repairs and get you hooked up. How much more time do you get on the tow?
About a minute.
All right. Well, we look to see you out there. I expect a lot of crashes, so this might be the race for second.
Hopefully the start of a trend.
All right. Good luck, Jeff.
Thanks, man.
All right. That was Jeff Tyler, one of our the hottest drivers in this series. Wonder how this will affect his team championship prospects.
I think he's going to be able to get back out there pretty quickly, and with the rate of attrition that we've had so far, he should be able to make up some positions. I don't know that he's going to have a really strong points showing day, but we'll keep our eye on that. We're still following along with Dylan Blanton here. He's within 2 seconds of the leader, so he's keeping up pretty well. They have all turned their pace up a good little bit. It seems that they were doing 145s, but they've all brought it down into the 144, 143s. Looks like Nate has made the pass for the lead there.
Is there something wrong with Sven's car? What happened to the pace that Sven was running at the start of the stint?
I'm not really sure. That last lap was a 146, so he's definitely slowed. Let's, do you see any damage in his car?
I'll go back and take a look here.
Or is he maybe fuel saving a little bit? He does have a crumpled side pod there a little bit. Looking at it. You think he maybe got wide and got into a wall earlier?
Yeah, I do see the crumpled side pod. I think that might be what's slowing him down. And then he just seemed to lift and let Nate go on the straight. So perhaps now that he has that aero damage, he needs Nate's help to get the fuel mileage.
He's keeping the pace up through the curvy bits here.
Oh! It looked like the lapper was going to make things quite tight there.
But he got out of the way in a good spot, so they're doing all right. Let's check in with Cofford back here in 7th. He's only he's 3.5 seconds. I thought that gap was a little bit closer to Ellison, but Cofford has made up 8 positions since the start. Probably no thanks in small part to the crashing out, but good for him.
Yeah, strong drive by the 427 car.
He's getting faster and faster as the seasons go on.
So
Is this his second season now in the RiL?
Maybe just a bit more.
Well, he was last year's rookie champion, correct?
I don't have my history book here in front of me, so I'm going to have to take your word for that one.
I'm pretty sure that he was last year. Last year's rookie champion. He picked a race.
No, I believe...
Was that 2 seasons ago?
2 seasons ago.
Oh, okay.
Our reigning rookie champion is Justin.
Okay. Justin Hall. Gotcha.
Justin Hall.
Because I was rookie champion 3 seasons ago now, I suppose.
And I was actually rookie champion my rookie season. Wow.
Nice.
Such an esteemed class.
Yeah.
All right, so Nate Franklin continuing to extend his lead here. Looks like Sven Dimmel's dipped into the pits.
He's back out on track, though. He may have taken his quick repair. Yep, he definitely did. He's got a clean car, so he's looking to make up some time here. Check in with Evan Merrill. He's about 6 seconds back from that lead pack. We've got Dylan Blanton. He's about 5 seconds back from our leader.
In last week's winner, Jeff Franklin continues to struggle. Right before he was lapped by Mr. Cofford, he got loose and touched the wall again. So probably going to be another trip down pit road for Mr. Jeff Tyler.
Yeah, he does have a bit of a scrape on the side pod there.
Our one-time championship contender.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that car is crabbing just a little bit.
And Sven Dimmel coming up there behind him after his pit stop.
Pretty sure that Jeff is going to go ahead and duck back into the pits and, you know, give Sven plenty of room to get on by there. There he goes down pit road.
Alright, so when will we see the other leaders on pit road? We've seen Sven. Looks like he's going to split this race into thirds.
Devin Peters has just run the fast lap of the race of 143.563.
Wow, that's half a second quicker than we see anyone else running.
That's pretty damn quick, and he didn't have the benefit of any draft or anything.
Yeah, so we're getting back to situation normal. Peters running with Ellison chasing not far behind as they come across Ellison's edge and then down the mountain.
On that said, Ellison has run a 143.8 on this last lap, so he's getting the hammer down too.
Yeah, it's maybe 3/10 off, so strong lap. Devin keeping it tidy through Forest Elbow. That's where you can really, it's super easy to push out there and ruin your race. Take out a side pod, tear off a wheel. Just got to be super patient, but the run down this long Conrad straight is so important that's why all the drivers push it.
If you don't get the maximum speed going down the straight, you can lose a couple of tenths right there.
I kind of expect Ellison to maybe pit one lap sooner. I expect him to maybe pit here at the end of lap 10 to maybe try to undercut Peters. He's got to do something to try to close this gap.
They're both pushing really hard. 2 fastest cars out on track right now. 2 of the fastest cars on track, excuse me. Nate Franklin is also running some pretty competitive lap times. Not sure what's going on with Evan here. He's a few seconds off the pace right.
Yeah, he had a so-so qualifying run. Not what we would expect typically out of Evan, but he's maybe a little jet lagged. He was in Le Mans this weekend running for the Neo race, so glad to see Evan was able to make it down here to Bathurst in time. Yeah, Evan, a former champion, is quite the quick driver. He's about 10 seconds back off our leader, Nate Franklin.
So it looks like we've got a few cars that have come in for some routine pit stops right now. Sven Dimmel, Alexander Cofford, Ryan Verhulst, and Aaron Thacker have all taken what look to be normal pit stops. and are now back out on track. Here comes Evan down for his first pit stop. Goes a little into the dirt, but it's okay. He's got plenty of space.
Tom's also coming onto pit road, as I predicted, 1 lap earlier than was absolutely required. So Devin's going to stay out there and stretch the fuel.
As he heads back down the mountain straight.
Dylan Blanton coming out, back out on the straightaway, out on the racetrack. Not leaving anything on the table. He was right up against those cones coming out.
Dylan and Fawcett are our 2 cars, the first 2 cars a lap down right now.
Dylan was able to jump Sven. Sven's a couple seconds back. Dylan.
I don't think that's correct. I think Dylan is a lap down, so he's back behind. Sven's up in 3rd right now.
Sorry, Dylan. And Christopher Flamian just crashed again and toes back to the pits.
Let's see what our leader does now.
Ooh, Kyle Smith just crashed in turn 2.
Is he getting
continues on.
Oh, he does.
No toe necessary.
This car's looking okay, just a little damaged front wing. And here comes our leader down pit road.
Nate Franklin.
Number 24, we got our eye on the number, 911 of Devin Peters. Let's see if he makes his pit stop now. If we continue, yes, he's coming down pit road as well. So the only 2 cars that have not, oh, there we go, Andrew Fawcett has come down to pit road as well, and Paul Parshock is the only one that has not pit yet.
All right, so this is going to be interesting. Where does Spin come out?
As he's crossing the start-finish line right now, so he should come out in the lead.
And Nate's off the Jackson rolling. But yeah, it looks like Spin's going to get just around him. With the typical German efficiency. Spin's back in the lead.
About a half straight advantage there. 3 seconds. Look, less than 3 seconds.
Ooh, the race between Peters and Ellison is going to heat up here, I believe. Looks like John Patrick got in between them through the pit cycle.
See if Ellison can use that to his advantage, maybe getting a little bit of a draft advantage down the long straights. Or if it works to his disadvantage with some arrow wake through the turns.
I'm sure he's wishing against that.
I think Cofford may have had an incident as well. Let's take a look at him.
Okay, the 427.
And he's coming back off of pit road now, but his last lap was a 1:52. That seems okay. That's about normal.
Yeah, that was his second stop, so he could make it from here. Our prediction software is saying it's 11 to go, and that's what the teams were telling me that they could easily do.
Easily, or just squeeze out of it?
It sounded
right on.
Easy,
yeah, right on the.
You can never trust them. You know, they're always holding a little something back.
That's true.
The 816 of Aaron Thacker spun around turn 4. Was able to get going without hitting anything, which is an amazing thing in itself here at Bathurst.
And that's given Cofford a chance to catch right back up. He's within a half a second.
Yes, and so that's a battle for position.
Did Peters have a brief spin there?
Oh, he must have. Something happened because
Jump
Tom
back.
got by and got a pretty good lead on him.
Oh, there he goes. He just spins it right around and backs the tire into the wall, but doesn't look like he took any damage there. Oh, did he have yet another spin just now, too? Jump back one more time. Wow, he did. He had a spin coming into the final turn of the track. Maybe he did take some damage. It looks like he did. Just lost the rear end.
Kept his foot in it there all the way. Devin, probably his crew should have probably called him in immediately after that contact, since he could make it on the rest of the way on gas. just go ahead and get it fixed. But yeah, I have to think that the suspension is damaged. Let's see how much more trouble it causes him.
I think he's going to have to come in at the end of this lap. We'll keep our eye on that. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and check in with the leader.
Yeah, I'll continue to stay here with Devin. Or you guys watch the leader?
We'll jump on board with him for just a moment.
Oh, and Devin's off up at the top of the mountain and into the barriers at Ellison's edge.
Damage was just too much, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think his race is slipping away.
Whereas we watched Sven get a little loose coming into the final turn there through Murray's. That was a little hairy.
Like he was still pretty quick that last lap. Fastest car on the track so far.
Sven's tires are comparatively old compared to the other drivers.
Yeah, Sven's stopping a little bit earlier. His pit stop was actually 2.5 seconds quicker than Nate's, which made him almost 3 seconds faster on the lane, which I think was the difference that we saw at the crossover.
Do you think he went for a short fill?
No, I think it was just all it could hold. Stopping a few laps earlier, they're limited to only put 14.5 in.
Right.
Okay, and so we see Kyle Smith and Devin Peters both on pit road to fix some minor damage. Looks like Aaron Thacker's also on pit road, waiting on the tow truck.
Devin takes quick repair, gets back out on track. Still in 6th position. He's going to have a little bit of race coming from Crawford, who is about 5 seconds back there, maybe a little bit less, since Peters is going to be slow coming off the lane. Looks like the closest race we have right now is Tyler and Fawcett. With Jeff Tyler coming up on him hard right now as they come down the Conrad straight. Tyler's going to go ahead and make that pass pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, Fawcett, I think, is just going to sit here and ride and wait for Jeff to perhaps hit the wall again and then get an easy pass.
He's not going to be in any hurry. Just going to cruise along with him.
Oh, and there we go. Tyler around. Didn't hit a wall, but
Fawcett goes right on by.
It's typically Jeff that scares people into a spin, but he's just not got a handle on tonight's combo.
Looked like for a second Nate was pulling in Sven there, but the gap has stretched back out just a little bit, 2 seconds.
Looks like Ryan Verhulst just passed Tom Ellison. Tom Ellison must be in trouble. Tom Ellison is towing.
He's back on pit lane right now.
Let's take a look at that.
He drove down pit lane.
Yeah, so it looks like...
Let me see if I can catch what happened here. Did it happen earlier? It must have happened even earlier than that. Oh, there we go. Okay, looks like he's coming up through... I'm not exactly sure where he is. Oh, he's coming down to Skyline and just straight lines the turn. Oh, straight lines the turn and then has a little spin coming out for the next turn. We'll have to ask him after the race what happened there. That was just awkward, I think.
Well, he's back out on track, still in 4th position, and with enough fuel to make the finish. So, as they run right now with 13 minutes to go, Spin Dimwell's our leader. Nate Franklin is 1 second back. Evan Merrill's 12 seconds off the lead. And Aaron Thacker's just crashed again in forced elbow. Ryan Verhulst is in 4th, 8 seconds back, with Thomas Ellison chasing hard in 5th. Alexander Crawford is in 6th. Paul Parasak in 7th, Dylan Blanton in 8th, Andrew Fawcett in 9th, and Jeff Tyler in 10th.
And they're racing again as Jeff Tyler gets his position back. Let's see if he can keep the car pointed in the right direction through this next set of turns here. Now that lead between Sven Demel and Nate Franklin is oscillating. He's getting within a second, going back out to 2 seconds, within a second.
I think that's because Nate is so much faster on the straightaways. He's 12 miles an hour faster on the straightaways.
We're riding on him with right now. Yeah, that gap is definitely dropping. You can see it up in the top right of your screen there. It was with more than 2 seconds before they hit the straight, and now 1.8 at the end of it. But we'll watch as he... Go ahead.
We expected to, we're coming on here to the front straight, and then on the long climb uphill, with just 7 to go, we expect that Nate will be able to close it down as they approach turn 2.
You can see Sven just up ahead right there. 2.3 to start off at the straight.
Yeah, and Nate's not in draft range. This is just Nate has less downforce. His car can move quicker through the air.
And I noticed Sven's tires are 9 laps old, so he's probably getting right to the end of the life on those. And we've got a spin by the 549, who quickly tows it, gets off track there. Oh, another car spun there. Is that the number 20, I believe?
Paul?
Is that Paul, or was that... It may have been.
Paul, the 89.
Oh, okay.
As Nate went by.
And he's back on pit road as well.
All right, so we expect Sven Demel will be on pit road soon to get that final fill of gas to make it to the finish.
Looks like he's kept his car pretty clean since he went back into the pit earlier and took a bit of repairs.
Yep. 10 minutes to go. Right at about 6 laps. This time by the line. Sven Demel at a very high speed down the backstretch. Over 180 miles an hour.
Hitting 181 it looked like, but 186 for Nate Franklin there. 187 actually.
Yeah, Nate did 192.7 earlier.
Here comes our leader down pit road.
Will Nate stay on the track or follow him through?
He's staying out.
All right, Nate's gonna stick to his strategy.
Nate's only five laps into this stint, so his tires are still probably okay. And he's got as he goes around right there into turn 1, hell corner. He gets it straightened back out, and he's gonna remain in the lead. Evan was too far back, 22 seconds, but that does not help him racing Sven.
Yeah, I have to believe that's going to allow Sven to come out with quite the lead after this stop.
As he comes back onto track right now, he spent 26 seconds on pit lane, so that was a quick pit stop.
Yeah, 7.2 seconds stopped for Mr. Demel.
That puts him right within grasp of the number 2 car. Not the number 2, excuse me, the second position car, the number 42 of Evan Merrill. You can see them both right there right now.
Sven doesn't need to pass Evan here. We know Evan will need more fuel. It's been 9 laps. Or it's been 7.5 laps since Evan stopped. So he'll have to stop here in the next couple, but I would think he'll want to stop now and get those fresh tires and have some time to use them. Or maybe he'll just wait and just take a splash of fuel.
Do you think anybody's going to take the risk of going out there without tires on their final pit stop?
Well, if you wait till just 1 to go to pit, which I think some of these cars can do,
the splash and dash is the best way, for sure. As Sven goes ahead and makes the pass on Evan there.
Dylan Blanton on pit road for his final stop, as well as Nate Franklin.
Our leader coming down pit road. As Sven crosses the start-finish line. To start his 19th lap of the race. And that puts us with about 5 to go. 4 to go? 4 to go.
Yeah, 4.9 to go.
Right. So we may get
Tom Ellis
5
is
laps.
the quickest car on the track. Does that mean he's coming in the pits?
No, he's only 3 laps into his stint, so unless he took a very short fill, which doesn't look like he did, I think he's probably fueled to the end.
He's just turning a strong pace then. Trying to close down this gap. It looks like for Tom Ellis in the next car up the road is going to be Evan Merrill, about 20 seconds ahead. Anything can happen as we've seen so far. So Tom's fueled to the finish. Evan's fueled to the finish. Looks like everyone should have enough fuel to get there.
Yep, Nate is fueled to the finish. Sven is. The only other person that may be getting close is Cofford, but I think he is good to go.
And Fawcett. Cofford and Fawcett.
Fawcett's on pit road right now.
Okay.
It looks like his car is bent, so he may have had a bit of an incident.
Jack Moffitt had another spin here. Good man holding the brake, letting all the traffic go by. And Jack continues on.
Take a quick look at his spin here. Seems to be one that many drivers have had. Just losing the rear end, coming through the hell corner, and going wide.
News alert, Sven Dimmel, again fastest.
144 flat that lap.
Let's see, the race is really getting spread out. There's not a lot of close battles at this point.
Yeah, it looks like the closest driver right now is Jeff Tyler to Devin Peters.
Yeah.
In about a 2-second gap. We'll take a look at Jeff right now. Yeah, there he is right behind Devin. Devin's car's probably been repaired at this point since he had his earlier issues.
I would say Devin's car's been repaired a few times. But it's looking good right now.
Jeff just coming out of the pits and finishing 1 lap, so let's see what kind of times he's doing after a fresh set of tires. Devin on a 5-lap-old set of tires. I think Cofford may be right on the edge. He's on his 8th lap. We've got 3.5 to go.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
That is going to be a tall order for him.
Looks like
Evan.
Tom Ellison is closing onto the back of this battle with Tyler and Peters.
I think he's still 30 seconds back from them.
Franklin. Tom's coming around to lap. Jeff and.
Oh, and Peters. Got you. Sorry. You're right.
I just saw another car come by in the back of the frame there, and that was Mr. Ellison.
Yeah, it looks like Merrill is back on pit road. So Devin is going to get into 7th position now. Tyler will move up to 8th.
Oh, and do we know what happened to the 42 car?
I'm not really sure.
That's an unscheduled stop.
Yeah, he seems to have some damage.
It looks like just before the dipper. After Skyline, he just touched a curb and he elected to take a tow. It's probably a wise call. He's in a blind position with little traction and not much room to turn around.
Cofford just ran his fast lap of the race, 1:44.98.
will Jeff Tyler be able to close it down here? Looks like Peters is starting to slip away a little bit.
Yeah, about a half a second slower that last lap, Tyler was. Got 7, 8, and 9, ninth position. All on the track consecutively. Not really that close, 20 seconds to Blinton, but Peters and Tyler are getting a little bit closer.
Oh, and it looks to me that Evan Merrill's now back on the track. So we were wondering if Peters and... Oh, what happened to Peters? Oh,
he's trying to get down the road with a bent car, and it does not look to be, wow, very successful. Let me jump back and see what I can find here.
looks like the same mistake. A spin coming out of the chase. Touched the curb. I think he ran over the same skid marks from before.
Oh, we're watching him come down the Conrad straight right here, so maybe we'll catch what happens here.
Yep.
Just too hot into that turn, swaps the front end around and knocks the front wing off and does a little steering and rear wing damage. That's unfortunate.
Sure, he gave Tom a little bit of concern there when he pulled back on the track for a moment. Then luckily he pulled out of the way and cut onto pit road under his own power. And Doug Peters now back on the track. Let's see what he can make of this race with just 2 to go. Where's our leader?
He's coming across the start-finish line right now.
This is going to be 1 to go for Sven Dimmel. Sven Dimmel's our leader. Nate Franklin, the gap has grown to 13 seconds. Next in third will be Thomas Ellison. Then Ryan Verhulst, Alex Crawford, Evan Merrill, Dylan Blanton, Jeff Tyler, Devin Peters, and Aaron Thacker. As eventful as tonight has been, that might change by the end of this lap.
Looks like our 4th and 5th battle is 5 seconds. Let's keep an eye on Crawford for right now. See if he can pull any time to Ryan Verhulst. Verhulst last lap was pretty slow, 149. Looks like we're having some real scruffy laps here. A couple of 149s and 147s, but the guys that are still able to turn 144s may be able to take some advantage here on the last lap. Let's keep our eye on it.
But does Crawford have the fuel to push that hard?
That's a good question. He is on his 10th lap of the race. He has to come in. He's coming in for a pit. That is unfortunate for him.
But the gap is big enough that I don't think he's going to lose a position here.
No, I don't think so. It looked like Evan Merrill just came through Skyline, so he's coming down. I don't think Crawford's going to need that much fuel. Maybe 3-4 seconds on pit lane. Oh.
Put a new wing on it. They're putting some tires on it, dropping the jacks.
He did get tires. That's interesting. So he takes almost like a full pit stop.
Yeah. And Fawcett is also on the track. All right, but our leader, Sven Dimmel, crosses the line, either on fumes or just to show that he can. Sven Dimmel, folks.
The number 24 of Nate Franklin comes across in second. It's Thomas Ellison. Go ahead.
Paying back to the third place car, Thomas Ellison, 27, coming down Conrad Straight here, just out of Forest Elbow. He reached all the way up to 182 miles an hour before slowing down here for the chase. Just a couple corners left. And Tom will stand on the podium once again.
Yes, he crosses the start-finish line. Let's check in on our 4th place driver. As he comes down. Oh, he's off the gas. Is he coasting?
He shouldn't need to. He pit 8 laps ago.
Yeah, he maybe was just cruising there.
Yeah, nothing to gain, nothing to lose.
Right, and the next driver is 27 seconds behind him.
so Cofford pushing hard here, but just going to run out of time. Wow, what a pace set by Sven Dimmel.
Is he
like
coming
cars on the lead lap?
back down pit road?
I think he's gonna save driving around for a cooldown lap.
Ah, just go right on in.
Finish line here. Yep. Put it on the trailer. Keep the miles off the chassis. All right. Well, let's. I'll let you run down through the finishing order, and I'm gonna run down to the paddock, see if I can't get a word with our top three.
Sounds good. All right. So in first position tonight, we've got the number 20. Excuse me. This is the number 23 of Sven Dimmel. In second position, we got the number 24 of Nate Franklin. In third, we got the number 27 of Thomas Ellison. In fourth, Ryan Verhulst, the number 12. In fifth, the number 427, Alexander Cofford. In sixth, the number 42, Evan Merrill. In seventh, the number 26 of Dylan Blanton. In eighth, the number 46 of Jeff Tyler. In ninth, the 911 of Devin Peters. And in 10th, the 816 of Aaron Thacker. The last four are going to be Andrew Fawcett, Paul Parashak, John Patrick, and Kyle Smith. The last four to finish. And we should be getting some drivers in here for interviews real shortly.
Yep, and we have Mr. Thomas Ellison, our third place finisher tonight. How are you doing, Tom? How was the race?
Whew, boys, that was, I'm sweaty. I'm sweaty now. A little bit messier than I would have wanted, personally speaking. But I guess some other competitors had some dangers misfall them, and I was lucky enough to get third in the end.
Yeah, great drive. It was a crazy race out there. It looked like almost everyone had trouble. I think we saw even the winner get in the wall at one point, so quite the race.
It's tough. It's tough out there. Like, this is not an easy car and track combo. I had a lap from hell on my lap 14. I managed to spin twice and had to pit for a fast repair after that. So it's tough, but it's a lot of fun as well.
Well, good result, Tom. Glad to see you on the podium again to end the season. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, guys, and thank you for broadcasting as well. It's been great.
Cheers. All right, and so next we're going to speak to our second place driver, Mr. Nate Franklin, standing on the second step of the podium. Congratulations, Nate. Good finish. How was the race?
It was tough. I was just kind of running my own race, trying to just block Sven out. I know he was really quick. And during his first stint, he tagged the wall a couple times, so he had a lot less downforce. I blew past him on the one straight, and yeah, I was just trying to avoid doing something like that to keep all four wheels on the road.
Yeah, we were watching the trap numbers, and you were a lot faster in a straight line than Sven. So I guess that's just a difference in setup. Sven maybe with a little bit more downforce, quicker through the twisty bits, while you were faster on the straightaways. Yeah, we were watching closely. It looked like it was going to be quite the battle until you spun coming out of Hell Corner. So do you think that was the turning point in your race?
Yeah, for sure. After that, I just locked up the rear brakes going into that corner and sent it around. So I just drove conservative after that. I knew unless Sven had a major run-in with some traffic or he tagged the wall again, I wouldn't have been able to. I would have crashed trying to catch him. So just lay back, and I had a big gap to P3, and that Evan wrecked. So I just nice Sunday drive up and down the mountain. So.
All right. Well, congratulations, Nate, and another good season in the books. Thanks again for talking to us.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Nate.
All right, and our winner today, Mr. Sven Dimmel, with another convincing, strong performance. I don't think anyone had anything for you tonight, Sven. What do you think?
Actually, Nate was really on my tails, and Dylan was too until he hit this incident. Both of them really had the pace to stay close. So when I had my incident in the first stint, Nate got by, and yeah, I really had to hustle to get back in front of him for the next stop.
Did it seem to you like it seemed to us that Nate was running a lot less downforce? He seemed to be much faster on the straightaways.
Yeah, that could be. I didn't try his setup, but yeah, mine used a ton of downforce. I was like really trying to be as safe as possible, and I was a sitting duck on the straights. But when he passed me, I also had damage and used the push to pass, so he just flew by.
Yeah, we noticed your apex speeds were much higher than everyone else's. I guess that's a reflection of the downforce. Go ahead, Derby.
Were you on the push to pass at all? How many did you have left at the end of the race there?
I used all of mine in the last few laps.
Oh, okay.
I used one in the first lap to get away, and then one more to pass Evan after my second pit stop. But all the others I used just to go fast in the final laps.
Could you see over the wall whenever Nate spun there in Hell Corner while you were in the pits?
No, I couldn't see him. I don't think I would have noticed if he didn't tell me. I don't think it was very smart of him to tell me that he just made a mistake and I can now take it easy instead of having to push. I would have only realized that after he made the second pit stop. But yeah, that's Nate. He's just very nice. Sometimes too much for his own good.
And nice to a fault.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us tonight. Congratulations on another championship and another win, Sven.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I'll let you close us down here, Derby. Another exciting season in the books, though, for the RIF.
That's right, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you whole season coverage next season.
I'm looking forward to it.
As am I. Well, let's go ahead and sign off, Alex. My name is Michael Derby. He's Alex Albert, and we're going to go ahead and say goodnight.
Mahalo.